Europe. Land of charming villages. A mix of landscapes, stories and traditions that have stood the test of time. Its imposing fortresses and Gothic cathedrals tell stories of a bygone era. But far from the beaten tourist track, there are gems that few have discovered. Intact medieval villages, guardians of legends and mysteries. These are the hidden treasures of medieval Europe, pearls of a distant era. In this video, we will explore the paths of medieval Europe and reveal some places where the past seems to have stopped. Prepare to discover an authentic medieval Europe, far from the beaten track. Only a small percentage of these attract the attention of most tourists. This means that much of Europe's medieval heritage remains unknown to many. So let's immerse ourselves in these villages and cities, discovering places that are certainly no less fascinating than the large historic centers. Let's begin. In England we find Oxford and its historic rival Cambridge. To live the real experience, we recommend you stop in the typical English pubs, try the iconic fish and chips and pies, savory filled pies, and the Sunday roast. Home to one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the world, Oxford is a city where academic excellence blends with centuries of history. Its medieval colleges, with their tranquil courtyards and Gothic spires, create a unique cityscape. The Bodleian Library, one of the oldest libraries in Europe. The Radcliffe Camera, with its distinctive dome, is one of the most photographed buildings in the city. Oxford is not only a center of learning, but also a place of innovation. Its laboratories and research centers continue to contribute to scientific discoveries of global importance. The city has also inspired numerous authors, and its landscapes have been the setting for many literary works and films, including the Harry Potter series. Cambridge is another world-famous university city. Situated on the banks of the River Cam, it also enchants with its medieval colleges, characteristic bridges and vast green lawns called the Backs. King's College, with its 15th century Gothic chapel, is perhaps the most iconic building in the city. Its choir is world-renowned for the quality of its performances, particularly its televised Christmas concert. Cambridge has produced many influential scientists and thinkers. The Cavendish Laboratory, for example, was the site of groundbreaking discoveries such as the structure of DNA. Today, the city continues to be a center of innovation, particularly in the fields of technology and biotechnology. In Germany, we find Heidelberg, where we recommend tasting bratwurst, one of the most famous sausages. Then there is Quedlinburg. The characteristic cuisine offers excellent fish and meat dishes, sipping an excellent local beer, and finally Dinkelsbowl to taste the legendary carp. Heidelberg enchants visitors with its romantic landscapes, dominated by the ruins of its imposing castle overlooking the Neckar River. This ancient university town is a true melting pot of history, culture and youth, thanks to its renowned university, the oldest in Germany. Strolling through the cobbled streets of the old town, you can discover charming cafes, antique bookshops and a lively art scene. Heidelberg is also famous for the Philosopher's Path, a path that offers spectacular views of the city and the castle, once frequented by poets and intellectuals seeking inspiration. For those with a sweet tooth, the Heidelberg Studentenkes is a must-try, a traditional chocolate that originated as a gift between students in love. If stones could talk, Quedlinburgs would tell tales of ancient kings and kingdoms. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a hidden gem, with a Romanesque castle and a historic center that has retained its medieval charm. As you wander through its streets, you'll find yourself surrounded by architecture that dates back centuries, a true paradise for history and art lovers. A visit to the castle, which dominates the surrounding area, is an experience that transports you back in time, making this village a treasure to explore. The town market and artisan shops add a lively touch to the tranquil medieval atmosphere, inviting tourists to discover ancient crafts and local traditions. Dinkelsbowl, another splendid example of medieval heritage along the romantic road, Dinkelsbowl captures the attention with its well-preserved walls and colorful towers that seem to watch over the city. Passing through its historic gates, one finds oneself in a world where medieval feasts and early music festivals are part of everyday life. Historic churches, such as St. George's Church with its impressive Gothic interior, offer a fascinating insight into the art and architecture that have shaped the region over the centuries. Dinkelsbowl is a place where every corner offers a new discovery, an invitation to explore and immerse yourself in history. In Italy, visit Bagnaregio. A gem to try is the pollo alla civitonica. Then we recommend Monteriggioni, the unmissable paisai with mushrooms or truffles, soups, and risottos, and last but not least Ferrara with the salama di sugo and the cappellacci with pumpkin. Civita di Bagnaregio, known as the Dying City due to the continuous erosion of the tough hill on which it stands, Civita di Bagnaregio is a unique experience, accessible only by a pedestrian bridge. This medieval village, founded by the Etruscans, seems suspended in time and space, offering spectacular views of the Valle dei Calanchi. Its narrow streets, dotted with stone houses and flowers in the windows, lead to the main square, where the Church of San Donato is located. Here, time seems to stop and the quiet atmosphere invites tourists to slow down and immerse themselves in the peace that this place offers. Monteriggioni, it is an exceptional example of a fortified medieval village, with its walls and towers that rise majestically to guard the surrounding Tuscan countryside. This small village, often mentioned in Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, is immersed in an atmosphere of times gone by, where every stone tells stories of battles and daily life in the Middle Ages. Walking along the walls, you can enjoy a panoramic view of the vineyards and olive groves that define the landscape of the region. Monteriggioni also hosts various medieval events and festivals, with historical reenactments and traditional markets. Ferrara, a journey into medieval and Renaissance Italy, where elegance blends with centuries of history. The imposing walls embrace a historic center that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, dominated by the majestic Estense Castle. Here, art flourished under the patronage of the Este family, leaving an indelible mark on every corner. Pedaling along the tree-lined avenues, you discover a city on a human scale where time passes slowly. The cathedral, with its Romanesque Gothic facade, tells of centuries of faith and beauty, while the Palazzo dei Diamanti shines like an architectural jewel unique in the world. You cannot leave Ferrara without tasting its famous cuisine, where the cappellacci di zucca reign supreme, offering a gastronomic experience that perfectly completes the cultural journey. In Portugal, we recommend Marveio with the legendary chestnut soup, and Monsanto for those with a sweet tooth, the pudim de ovos. Marveio, perched on a granite peak in the Alentejo, it dominates the surrounding landscape. Its intact walls, which embrace a maze of stone streets and whitewashed houses, offer one of the most spectacular views in Portugal. Here, the aroma of freshly baked bread wafts through the air, while the medieval castle, the highest point of the village, offers an idyllic panorama that extends all the way to Spain. Marveio is certainly rich in history, but it is also a living place, where the traditions of Alentejo are manifested in the authentic flavors of local cuisine and precious craftsmanship. Monsanto, nestled between giant granite boulders, this Portuguese village defies the laws of physics and imagination. The houses, nestled between and under enormous rocks, seem to merge with the rock itself, creating a surreal landscape that seems to have come out of a fantasy tale. Labyrinthine alleys wind between these unique homes, each with a 1,000-year-old story to tell. From the top of the village, dominated by the remains of a Templar castle, the view extends over a sea of oaks and olive trees, up to the border with Spain. Monsanto is not only an architectural marvel, but a journey through time, where ancient traditions and the force of nature blend in perfect and intact harmony. Austria, not to be missed. Salzburg, where the belly demands Wiener Schnitzel and Kaspressnadel, that is, dumplings similar to Canederli, very substantial, and Dürnstein, a delicious chicken breast with vegetables. Salzburg, the birthplace of Mozart, is a Baroque jewel nestled between the Austrian Alps and the Salzach River. Its historic center, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a maze of medieval streets dominated by the imposing Hohensalzburg fortress. Getreidgasse, with its wrought iron signs, is home to Mozart's birthplace, now a museum dedicated to the composer. Salzburg is famous for the Salzburg Festival, one of the most prestigious classical music events in the world, which attracts culture enthusiasts all year round. Dürnstein, located in the traditional Wachau region along the Danube, Dürnstein is famous for its white wine and the ruins of the castle where, according to legend, Richard the Lionheart was held prisoner during the 12th century. The surrounding landscape is dominated by terraced vineyards that offer unique scenery, especially in autumn when the leaves change color. The old town is a maze of narrow streets, with Baroque buildings and a notable abbey, whose blue tower can be seen from afar. Dürnstein is certainly a must-see for wine lovers, with numerous wineries offering tastings and direct sales. In France, Rochefort-en-Terre, taste the rillette and andouille, a tripe sausage. This village in Brittany shines for its authentic medieval spirit and its flower-filled houses that adorn the stone streets. Known as one of the most beautiful villages in France, it is a mosaic of ancient architecture, with ornate stone facades and balconies overflowing with geraniums. The main square, surrounded by old noble residences and small artisan shops, is the beating heart of Rochefort-en-Terre, where tradition and modernity meet in harmony. During the Christmas period, this village transforms into a real fairy tale, with lights, decorations and markets that attract tourists from all over the world, making this place a perfect example of how history can blend with the joy of the holidays. In Spain, Ronda, where to taste crispy bombs stuffed with salmorejo and tuna belly in olive oil. Suspended on a majestic cliff and divided by the deep gorge of El Taha, Ronda is a pearl of Andalusia that enchants with its unique landscape and historic architecture. The famous Puente Nuevo, which connects the two parts of the city, offers spectacular views of the canyon below and the surrounding mountains. Furthermore, walking through the streets of Ronda is like taking a journey through time, with each street telling of medieval times, Moorish conquests, and cultural renaissances. Tourists can explore ancient fortresses, stately palaces and museums full of art and local history, or relax in the many bars with panoramic views. If you are in the Czech Republic, don't miss Kutna Hora, try goulash, duck and pork shank. This medieval city, located in central Bohemia, is famous for its silver mining past. The Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, features an incredible collection of Gothic and Baroque architecture. The Cathedral of St. Barbara, a late Gothic masterpiece, dominates the city skyline. Kutna Hora is also known for the Sedlec ossuary, a chapel decorated with human bones, creating a macabre yet fascinating atmosphere. And don't forget, subscribe, leave a like and activate notifications. Thanks for your attention and see you on the next trip.